What's going on, everybody? Hey, my name is Andy, and welcome to the first episode of That One Interesting Podcast. Yes, this is the podcast that everyone's been waiting for, and it's finally here. But before we started, here's some, quick way that you can communicate, get in contact with us. First is through our email, thatoneinterestingpodcast@gmail.com. Our email is thatoneinterestingpodcast@gmail.com. And the other way to stay connected is through our blogging site, which is thatoneinterestingpodcast.blogspot.com. Our blogging site is thatoneinterestingpodcast.blogspot.com. Go ahead and check it out. You can leave comments and topics that y'all would like to hear talk on the podcast. And don't be afraid to leave any type of that, criticism in a way that the podcast can improve. Yes, just check us out and let us know what you think. But for our first ever episode, I'd like to welcome everybody to our first ever episode. And we have a very special, interesting guest with us. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
You go introduce me.
Man. You got to introduce yourself to the people, man. You know yourself, Bill.
This your boy, Mark. That's all I got for him.
What's up, Mark? How you doing?
Chilling, man. Living life.
How was your day?
Shit. Chilling, man. I think I was at the car shop all day. Got some new tires on the Black Magic. You feel me? Got a little oil change,
That's great.
Cost me about $500. So shit. Ain't no Christmas gifts.
Yeah, today was today was a pretty easy day for me. So I didn't do just go around the school and subbing and some bad kids. But mostly it was good kids though. So
Where you saw that?
It's a pretty good school though. Like the kids are well behaved compared to the some other school, but it was overall was a pretty good experience.
It's a private school?
Nah, it's a charter school and stuff like that. Yeah, but it was a pretty good day. But yes, let's get started with our podcast subject. So the main question that I have, the podcast subject that we about to discuss today is
So what this podcast about?
Oh. So basically,
man, break it down to the people, man.
Hey man, if you listen to our trailer, you will find out what the podcast is about. And we're gonna have a description. In the description, you can read the description of the podcast, and you're gonna find out what is the podcast about. So yeah, go ahead, check it out, and you'll find out what's the podcast about. But it's gonna be interesting and laid back, funny podcast. Just listen to it, and hopefully you'll stay interested.
The vibes.
Yeah, just to ride with the vibes. Hey, let's get started. Hey, we have an interesting topic today. We talk about the first topics of the podcast for our first ever episode is gonna be about relationship. What is the definition of the talking stage?
Man, you just jump straight into that.
Yeah, man.
I mean, to me personally, the talking stage is levels. All right, so the beginning, you just meeting somebody. Y'all get together. Y'all find interest in each other, whatever the attraction, whatever. You don't necessarily like the person. You just like how they look. So I would call that attraction. So a lot of people, they'll see each other and be like, oh, I like this person. You don't even know the person. You attracted to them. So I would say the talking stage don't start there. You just kind of swap out information as far as phone number, contact. Then you start communicating. Now is a communication stage. The communication stage is pretty much y'all talking, trying to get to know each other. It's not talking if you just trying to get to know somebody. Because a lot of females, I ain't even going to generalize. I ain't even going to say a lot of females.
Wait, you said it's not talking when you're trying to get to know somebody.
Nah, that ain't the talking stage. That's just communicating. You feel me?
Wait,
you communicate.
But you got to talk to communicate, though.
Yeah, you talk, but look at here. You said talking stage. So
yeah.
we put parentheses around this talking thing right here. So,
yeah, go ahead.
So when you get to talking, see, it ain't just, I ain't talking about literally talking. I'm talking about the talking stage, which is where you're pursuing someone.
Yeah.
and you trying to see what's the future for you. That's what I'm saying. So when you communicating, you just going back and forth, good mornings, how you doing today, different things like that. You communicating, you getting to know the person. You don't know if you like them yet, you still getting to know them.
All right.
Now, after you got some type of connection and you feel like, oh, this is something good, then we move on to the next stage, which is the talking stage.
So what is the stage before the talking stage?
Y'all just communicating. Y'all just talking. Like, y'all not talking, but y'all talking. If you get what, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? Like, I know when y'all listen to this, y'all gonna understand what I'm talking about. Cause that talking stage, they put a lot of emphasis in that talking. Cause I done had a lot of females. They'll be like, "Oh, me and Mark was talking." No, we was communicating. You feel me? We was communicating. You feel me?
That's crazy.
After we done talked, then we done find out different things about each other, and I find a connection with you. Then you move on to the next stage, which is the talking stage.
So basically, what you're telling me is when you're in the talking stage, that's when things start getting that's when you start to get serious. Oh yeah, I like you. You like me.
I ain't gonna say serious.
You shouldn't be talking to that guy. I shouldn't be talking. I shouldn't be talking to that girl.
Nah, I ain't gonna say serious. See, there's another stage after this before the relationship. You feel me? The talking stage is the middle. That's the middle. That's where I don't know if it's serious, but we getting there. You feel me? It's not serious yet because we still got the dating stage, which is after the talking stage.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
let me get this straight. So you gotta go through the talking stage before you can take them out. See how they talk. Like yeah.
Once you start taking them out, we in the dating stage now. We in public.
So Mark is saying is he got to see how you talk first before he take you out in public because you don't want to get embarrassed.
I gotta know who I'm taking out. I gotta know who I'm taking out. Best believe. I got to know who I'm taking out. You ain't gonna have me looking crazy out here.
So you were saying so before the talking stage is
y'all communicating. I call it communication.
So what do you do? What do you do?
So you're getting to know the person. You don't like them. You just attracted to them just because of
their looks,
your connection. It may not be looks. Feel me? Sometimes it's an energy.
Yeah, most people.
You feel me? It's a spiritual energy. Like I don't believe in. This person's for me and different things like that. You feel it. You gonna feel it. You feel me? So it ain't about the looks per se, because sometimes you'll just be out chilling and then the soulmate just come dropping out of nowhere, and then y'all just have a connection, which I think is the connection that starts everything.
But majority of people usually communicate with someone else based on their looks, though.
Yeah, for the most part.
You're not gonna go buy a raggedy car. You gotta like how it looks on the outside, so
But you can't compare a human to a car.
Nah, I'm not saying that. Please don't take it out.
I mean, that's what you said.
I'm not.
That's what you said, though. I mean, you can't just.
But anyway, I mean, yeah. So what's you said not on looks, but what's the other things you were saying?
It's a connection. Like some people have that certain thing, filling the void. I would call it like. If someone feels a void that you're looking for, you may be attracted by that. It may not just be the looks. You feel me? Like if she take care of you like you wish your mama took care of you, then it might trigger something, and then boom, y'all might have a little.
So you think that type of behavior might happen in the communication stage? Like treat you like he.
Oh, of course.
Your mom treat you?
I don't know. No. You gotta understand.
I'm about to say, yeah.
You gotta understand. Like, say no. I'm saying it's possibly can happen because a stranger. What if a stranger opened a door for a girl? Say for
That's just open.
I'm saying, but it triggers something. What if she never had a dude open the door for her?
Oh yeah.
And different things like that. So now it triggers something from her, and now she's paying attention to him, not just because his looks, but because his actions. You feel me? So that's why I say it's different stages of attraction. Like it ain't just looks. It's whatever that person's looking for per se, and it may click, and then boom, now y'all all of a sudden y'all communicating. You don't know how it necessarily happened, but y'all just start communicating.
Just by opening the door.
It be like that sometimes. It be like that sometimes. Hey,
shit.
trust me, it be like that sometimes. Now, I mean,
Yeah, sometimes, yeah, I feel you. Like sometimes a girl might ask you, "Hey, I don't have a pencil," but she's like, "Oh yeah, you can't borrow my pencil." Like,
yes, the jester, boy. Hey, the small things
That's big.
take you a long way, boy. The small things take you a long way. Trust me when I tell you that. Now,
So what other aspect you can say that that can attract you to somebody, like to communicate, to go to that communicate stage?
I mean, like I said, it's any void that needs to be filled from a human, whether it's a female or a male. If you got a void that's missing and somebody triggers it, then boom, you start paying attention to them in a different way. And it may not even be their looks, but once you start paying attention to them, then you give them an opportunity to show themselves out and see if y'all connection is really that strong or was it just a fluff? You feel me? So then when y'all communicating, now y'all moving on, y'all seeing what's up, Let's see his patterns. Let's see her patterns. Different
So
things
how
like that.
how would you know you in the talking stage though?
Oh, we gotta communicate.
So I know you got to communicate, but like what type of signal that he or she gonna give you that be like, oh yeah, we in the talking stage right now?
That's a good one, but
Yeah.
ain't no ain't no book for this.
That's crazy.
This the gray area. Yeah, this the gray area. That's why a lot of people get it twisted when they say, "Oh, I was talking to Mark," or "I was talking to this person." You get it twisted now. It's the gray area.
I'm just gonna say it's the vibe, like just by the vibe.
What's the
that
vibe?
Yeah, just how we talk with each
What's
other.
the
like,
vibes?
yeah. I don't know, like yo, shoot, we talk every day. We've been talking for this long.
Yeah, but still, people could talk a long time, and never
That's
make it
crazy.
to that point. You feel me?
The talking stage.
Yeah. People, they talk. They
All
talk
right.
for a while.
right.
But I think if you communicate enough, you will see the signals, and y'all exchange words that let you know that you're moving in progress and you got a future with this person, or you're trying to see what's the future with this person.
Just
Because some communication, you don't see no future, no nothing. Y'all just talking.
shoot. I don't see any future in the communication stage.
Well, the communication stage, you just getting to know them. You just seeing the
Yeah.
patterns. You talking to them. You just want to hear their voice, see their vibes, and different things like that. When you get to the talking stage, now y'all talking about something more
Yeah.
deep, more intellectual. Y'all getting deep down into conversations like what you've done in your past and like your past relationships and different things like that. Y'all having those type of talks.
Yeah.
That's a different type of talk. You see, when you communicating, there's a lot of small talk. How you doing?
Yeah.
How your day been? Different things like that. But then when you get to talking stage, it get a little personal.
So pause. So you mean to tell me like, oh yeah, just by those small talk, you say people stay in the communication stage for a long time.
No, I said that they stay in the talking stage.
Oh,
for
this
a long
talking
time.
stage.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
my
talking
bad.
stage.
I'm about to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
like, you should. I can't stay in that communication stage where you're like, oh yeah, how you doing every day, but
Oh no. That the communication stage separate the boys from men, and the young ladies from ladies. All right? So that communication stage. That's why I say you get cut off real quick because they see your patterns. They see if they really deal with your bull. You feel me? And different things like that.
That
So,
usually lasted about like a month or
yeah, it could be shorter than that. It could be a
a
week.
month or 3 weeks, 2 weeks or so.
Yeah. Or if you like attracted to a girl, or for females, are you attracted to a dude, and you kind of like once they start talking,
Yeah.
you just turned off automatically because they don't know what they talking about. They don't know how to hold a conversation, different things like that. Oh, you cut them off in the first week,
Some
2
people.
weeks, stuff like that.
I feel like some people be staying in the the communication stage. That's what we call friend zone. When she friend zone you, like yeah, we can be friends, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean,
But
you're
yeah,
good.
I mean, friend zone is loosely though.
It will never get into the talking stage. If you get in friend zone, you will never get to the talking stage. That's how I feel.
Nah, but I think you get to the friend zone in the talking stage. Because that's when you establish that this ain't going nowhere for our future. So your future is a friend. Because you remember what I told you. In the talking stage, y'all start talking about what the future holds. So I feel like communication stage, you don't get to know the person too much. You just get to know like the small things, the patterns, stuff like that. But once you get to the talking stage, you get to know them, and at that point, the female, for the most part, makes that decision. It was like, I don't think this gonna work. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you here to the side over here where all my other friends at.
Let me put you in the pile real quick.
Just in case I need something to eat.
I still got options. I got options.
You feel me? You over here just in case I need a ride one day. I need something to eat. I'll go call you over here.
If I want to go to Chipotle. Hey, how you doing, Johnny? Let me call you.
Christmas time. Oh, it is Christmas time. Oh, what'd you give me for Christmas? Ain't we friends?
That's crazy.
So I feel like, that's what the friend is. Because the friends, that word is too loosely. It's used too loosely around. I think the friend zone really ain't really a friend. It's just a title. Because y'all really ain't that cool, really. The dude who's in the friend zone is really not that cool with that female.
You should.
It's debatable.
Depend.
Yeah, it depends.
If there was friends like for a long time, like now he start feeling her, the way she acted toward him. I don't think he would have any hard feelings toward her though. But if he got friend zoned like that quick, the first time he shouldn't even shot at her, and she just you're not gonna get nowhere with me. But he gonna have some.
The reason I say that is because you can be friends with this dude, but the fact that if you throw that title, you've been friend zoned. I mean, the dude wanted you at a point, or in other cases, the female wanted you at a point.
Either or.
So now I feel like friend zone is just convenient. It's a convenient title. So now it just sounds better to say that you're a friend zone when really y'all not friends. Y'all just one of y'all just liked each other, and somebody just said we're gonna make a mutual decision to stay on good terms and say that you've been friend zone. But in reality, he really like you, so he ain't your real friend if he's trying to.
So those type of
if he's trying to do that.
So all that type of all that type of action happened in the talking stage, right?
Yeah. This could be the talking stage, but wait. It can go further. You feel me?
How?
It's possible now. Like you done had. I done seen some
relationships.
I done seen some relationships go to friend zones.
after
they done went from talking to dating to relationship and then friend zone. Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's possible now.
Now we're gonna leave this alone. We're gonna save this for.
Yeah, it's possible now.
For another time. But anyway, like you say like, so what are the do's and don'ts on the talking stage? When you in the talking stage,
do's and don'ts.
Why can't I like? Oh yeah, I'm talking with you. What can she do and what can he do, and the do's and don'ts and stuff like that.
Well, talking stage, y'all ain't going out in public. That's a don't. You feel me? Y'all don't go out in public in the talking stage.
That's crazy.
Y'all can have good conversations, different things like that. But I would say
pillow talk.
Yeah, pillow talk, late night conversations and stuff like that. But the don't is don't go out in public. The do's, well, there's a couple other don'ts in the talking stage.
Wait. Why can't you go out in public though?
Because y'all ain't dating yet.
They can go out in public as friends.
Y'all ain't friends. You don't know them like that. She don't know you like that. Y'all just started talking. What you mean? Y'all not friends. Crazy. What you mean? That's why I said that friend word is used loosely out here now. You can't be friends that quick now. You done went from communicating to talking. Now y'all already friends? How that work? You see, that don't work now. So I say you don't go out in public with them. You just have pillow talk, late night conversations, in-depth conversations to get to the point of dating. So also, you do not meet the family. That's a don't on the talking stage.
Yeah.
You ain't meeting my mama.
Nah.
You ain't meeting my daddy.
Hell nah.
Brothers and sisters, nah.
Nah.
No family members. So that's a don't.
You forgot cousins.
Yeah, cousins too. Yeah, cousins too. You might meet my friends.
Accidentally.
Yeah. That's a good one. Most definitely accidentally meet my friends. Like if we go to school together or something like that, then okay, you see them and you might have met them, but I ain't doing no introductions.
Yeah. Like, hey, bro, who's this?
That's not going down. That's not going down at all.
She's just a girl I talk to.
Yeah.
Who's this?
We just talking.
We talking. Yeah.
We talking.
Don't worry about it, man.
Because what happens is they start feeling like y'all dating.
Yeah.
After you start making introductions and stuff like that, then the vision get blurry, the line get gray.
I mean, like,
and then,
some girls be feeling like, in the talking stage that you're actually dating. Like, you can't be talking with no other girls. Like, none of that stuff. That's how I think sometimes.
I disagree with that, as you can see.
So, are you saying you disagree with the girl saying, like, thinking that way, or you disagree of what I'm saying, like my opinion of what I think of?
I disagree with a girl thinking that.
Okay.
Like they're the only person in the talking stage. You see, like how I operate different. Everybody got their own way of operating. You see, some people go from talking to a relationship.
Yeah.
See, that's not how I roll.
All
it's
right.
a process, which is no time frame on the process. It's just a feel.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
go with the feel of things.
I go with the feel too. I can't force anything. Like, you know how some people be like, yeah, just cause, I watch TV. That's how I see my parents does it. That's how I see most of people does it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Ain't
what
no
you see,
textbook.
but that's not what you like. That's not what actually is going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people be like, oh, yeah, you got to get a relationship. You get married at this, and that. Like, you got to go with the flow and the feels, how you feel.
Yeah, because
everything
different. Everybody got different circumstances. Times are different.
Yeah.
Everything's just different.
Some people, when they see relationship, they just see things, but they don't know how things worked out the way they become. Oh yeah, I see this couple, that's gold.
Yeah.
But they don't know what that couple been through or what they did to get to that type of level of.
Or they don't know if they
together,
really happy or
they just want to see. They
see it from the outside.
They just want to see what
they
just want to do what they doing.
Yeah.
Just to make them feel better on on how relationships supposed to be like, but that's not how it really is.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like I said, me personally, I go through different stages, but if you're in that talking zone and you're trying to get to the dating zone, then it becomes different. Yeah. See, in talking, you could talk to different girls in the talking zone. You could talk to different girls. You're weighing your options. But the minute you start dating a girl,
hey, that's not cheating either. If you talk to.
No.
Yeah.
No way. No way, Jose.
If you're gonna think that way, so it's not. I'm just.
But everybody got their own opinion on what they think is what. And this is my opinion. So I feel like once you get to the dating stage, it should be one person because that one person should separate themselves from the other.
Yeah.
See, the talking stage, it ain't that serious. Y'all just talking. So you may be talking to different girls, trying to see who's best for you, whatever the case may be. But once you get to the dating stage, it should be one that stick out. If nobody don't separate themselves, then they all ain't good for you. Yep. I just say it like that. So if you talking about, I got 3 girls, I don't know who to choose, don't choose none of them. Because if one don't separate themselves and make it to the next stage, then that ain't the one. That ain't the one, G. Because that one gonna separate themselves and stick out, and that's when you feel me. You got a dater now, so when you go to dating,
just like that show,
now you on your way to the promised land.
The chosen one.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Right. Just like that show, The Bachelor.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I wouldn't say it like that, but
Bachelor's more, they do a bunch of crazy things in that show. So, but anyway, back to the talking stage. I feel like some girls still in the talking stage. If they talking to you, they automatically say, "Yeah, you that one guy." And you should not be talking with no other girls. If I find you talking to another girls,
Yeah, but
I'm not gonna take you that serious anymore.
Yeah, but that's where you gotta communicate. See, if she know what type of time you on, and you know what type of time she on, y'all should have a great understanding on where we
Eastern
at.
time and you on Western time, Mountain, Pacific.
Exactly. I can't be in Florida dealing with California. We on 2 different time zones. You feel
That's
me?
crazy.
So that's what y'all got to have a communicate. Y'all got to talk and communicate about what stage you on, pretty much. So if she feel like she in the dating stage and she feel like you the one, and you still in the talking stage, then it's a problem. You know?
Yeah.
Miscommunication somewhere along the lines. This is where you got to talk. That's why
one is moving way too fast, man,
or too slow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that could be a big problem too.
Yeah.
Confusion.
Yeah,
you're not where I'm at.
And females usually are
the fastest one.
The fastest one as far as not literally, but the fastest one as far as like moving on to the next stage.
You know, the best thing I could tell females is like go by what you see, not by don't let your feelings, not by what you feel. Sometimes when you go by what you feel, you kind of jump ahead of time when that person is not even doing the way you feel about them, and that person not doing the action that he shows you, not even like level up to how you feel about them. That's gonna leave you like
you gotta always go by principle over feelings in most cases. So there's certain things you enjoy, stick to your principle, and don't just because the feelings come involved, now you change in how you usually operate and different things like that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so like I pretty much would just say go with your principles over your feelings. But I mean, everybody got feelings. It's
yeah.
It's natural, so it may get the best of you sometimes, but then you got to look yourself in the mirror every night and just kind of give yourself a little pep talk like, nah, this ain't really what it is. This ain't my principle. Like, my principles say I ain't supposed to be dealing with this dude.
That's gotta be hard. I know that's gonna be hard for me.
So pretty much, if my principles say I ain't supposed to be dealing with this dude, or I got standards, then that should be your standards.
It take a really big person, to do that type of stuff. Like not anybody can do that. Some people are crazy. Like they just.
I ain't gonna call nobody crazy.
I'm not. Yeah,
just misunderstood.
Yeah, misunderstood. But yeah, you just like they just let their feelings get the best of them.
Yeah. All the time. I mean, some people, whether it's females or males, we all get into that moment. Everybody can make mistakes, different things like that. It's how you bounce back, and it just don't take it too far, because some mistakes may make you lose a lot of time out here in these streets.
That's crazy.
Don't complain over spilled milk.
So basically, there's the communication stage. There's the talking stage.
Yeah.
After the talking stage, y'all go to
the dating stage. Yeah. This one that gets spicy. You start pulling out little tricks. Hey, this is one you got the one now. You feel me? So this is my one. Feel me? I'm not weighing my options no more. We dating. Like we going out on dates. We going out in public. I'm paying for the dates here and there. She doing her part.
Yeah.
Whatever that part may be. But yeah, this is where you got to pull out some tricks, and put your best foot forward. So you trying to seal the deal, So because the next stage you already know it's the relationship. Yeah. So now you got to really put your best foot forward and do what it do. Like whatever that thing may be for that person. You do it and be yourself while you're doing it. Don't step out of character. Don't give them your representative.
Yeah, that's some good advice, man. That's some good advice.
Don't give them your representative. Be you. Let them know from the jump what it is.
Sometimes when you force, like you trying to over impress somebody, because when you trying to step out of your character, later on they're gonna find out because you can't be doing the same thing or you're gonna get tired of it.
Oh, of course.
They're gonna find out the real you. And when they
bet
find out the real you, that means you going down and be like, oh yeah, we used to do this for me. Now you know
Oh yeah.
what
Oh,
happened.
yeah. Now she's expecting things.
yeah.
She's gonna be expecting things, and you're gonna be delivering.
Which
So
is-
now
yeah.
disappointment.
And that's when they go all downhill from now if you don't, elevate yourself to that same character that you show her.
So while you in
When
that
you
dating stage, you better be you. And before you seal the deal, make sure she know everything. Make sure she know you don't brush your teeth in the morning. Make sure she know this stuff now. Make sure she know you take one shower a day now. Hey,
That's
you gotta
crazy.
make sure you tell her everything, like, because this is the dating stage, and she got to make a decision. You got to make a decision whether or not y'all gonna move forward. So that's the dating stage right there. You take them out in public. You meet the friends on the dating stage. You don't meet the parents yet. You'll meet the friends and probably siblings.
Some
Yeah.
close siblings.
Yeah. Some of them during the dating stage, and they kind of see because they got to fill them in too.
Yeah.
You feel me? So my friends gotta give me see her
Yeah.
vibes and check her out. Like okay, she straight. I ain't never did nothing with her.
Yeah.
You
No
feel me?
history. Background checking
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah. You gotta make sure now. Hey, you gotta make sure now before you seal the deal. Make sure the homie didn't do nothing.
Check her mileage and everything.
Man, I don't care about mileage. Just make sure my homie ain't do nothing.
Imagine you bring a girl and be like, yeah. Oh, who's that? I know her. Yeah, what's up? What's up, Keisha?
Yeah, before you seal the deal.
I was mentioning her last year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I say certain things in that dating stage may be a long period too. So if females don't get frustrated, don't be rushing them.
Yeah, patient.
Yeah, be patient because that dating stage can be long because you got to make sure everything makes sense. Everything's in place. You feel me?
Yeah.
You got to be a feel. So,
but anyway,
how long you think the dating stage should be?
Dating stage?
Like just give me an estimate. Ain't no specific time because as I said, there's no one specific time. You can't put no specific time. But how long do you think per se? Like, where you get a good feel of somebody?
I don't really have like a specific time and stuff like that, but I would say like the best, when you like, it's basically when you get to know that person, like when you like, I think when you're ready to do it. If you feel like you're ready to go into a relationship with that person, go ahead and take it. That's it depends on preference, like how someone feel, because not everybody gonna be like, oh yeah, I need to know this. Like if you know, oh yeah, if I see something in you that like, yes, we can be in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can go to that dating stage.
Yeah. I don't think it's a specific time, but you do have to go through certain different obstacles with this person.
See, that's
to see how they react towards.
I feel like you're speaking from experience, because you experienced a lot, so now you have like, you expect somebody to bring more to the table for you now, based on how you experience things. There's certain
Not necessarily. I just feel like you got to know who's on your corner for real. So you may have to.
That's experience.
Yeah, but I'm saying like.
So you think high school, those high school kids like usually get in a relationship, like most of them get in a relationship pretty quick.
Oh,
like
that
2
ain't
months?
that ain't no relationship.
No.
Puppy love, man. That ain't no relationship, man. That's puppy love, man.
I guess you can say that,
man. And you don't know what that person do, man. High school is a representative of you. You haven't figured out yourself yet. You don't know what's going on. Like when you're in high school, you don't know what's going on. You just kind of like figuring things out. So a lot of people find themselves dating or going out with a girl in high school and they don't even know what they really like.
One thing I didn't understand in high school is like when I usually see couples start dating after 2 days and they're already saying I love you in social media. I was like, how can you fall in love that quick in 2 days? That was crazy.
Yeah, I think that's crazy too, you know. But like I said, I don't understand it, so they just misunderstood.
Most likely the quicker.
I'm not gonna call it crazy, but it's misunderstood.
My bad. Misunderstood. My bad.
I mean, you call them crazy. I'm gonna say misunderstood.
My bad. I meant misunderstood. But anyway,
But,
like
yeah,
I feel like the quicker. Sometimes the quicker things come, the quicker they go. You don't think so?
in some cases, if you don't invest enough, you're not gonna really care too much about it.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you invested, you put in some hard work, you don't spend a lot of money, then it come with a longer time, you know.
Yeah.
And you're gonna fight for what you want now.
The harder you work for something, the more value.
Yeah, the more
It
you
comes down,
appreciate it.
yeah.
That's for life in general. So them quick I love yous,
It's gonna
nah,
go
you
quick
don't love
by.
them. You like them.
Quick, I don't love you no more.
You like them.
Quick, I don't love you no more.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
That's crazy.
But love, I mean, even love though is complicated though. What's your definition of love?
You asking too much. Right now. We in the
I'm
definition of
saying.
the talking stage, Mark. Bro, we supposed to
I'm
be
just
talking about the
saying.
definition of the talking stage.
I know, but we done segue to the word love.
Oh, love.
I mean, you the one who brought up talking about like love in 2 days.
I was just
stuff like
stating
that.
an example, like,
Yeah,
high school, like based on relationship. But love is basically it's a feeling. Like, you know how you feel for a person. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a feeling how you feel toward that other person. You know, you care about them more. You like to talk to them. You're always happy when you're around them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily always, but, it's that one person you can be around and still feel comfortable and be yourself. You open up more.
But I don't really think it attached to actions.
Yeah.
I think love is like a spiritual thing. Like,
But there's certain
feeling or
things. It's a feeling, but the way you feel might affect your action.
True.
So by how I feel about you might make me do certain things for you.
Yeah, but I believe that somebody could be in love with somebody and not do nothing for them.
That's crazy. Now we gotta save
is.
that for another podcast. We gotta save that
I'll
for. That's
explain
crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'll explain it sometime after.
Yeah.
Podcast.
We're gonna save this for another podcast.
If I come back to this shit.
But anyway, so let's wrap up. So what is like can you like give a summary of what the definition of the talking stage overall and what we talk about?
Talking stage is pretty much where you talking in depth about your future and whatever fits for what you think you should know or not know about this person. So like if you got a guy or if you got a girl, whatever the case may be, whatever suits, and you feel like you want to see the future with the person, I think the talking stage is where you kind of establish those things.
Yep.
And then you'll move forward or you'll throw them in the side in the bunch of friend zone.
So you're basically saying that the talking stage probably may be like the most important. Would you think it's the most important part of getting to know someone?
Yeah. I mean, it's not the most important because I think the dating stage is more important because that'll let you know whether or not this is going to work for sure.
Yeah.
But the talking stage is where you separate. This is where you cut it off and you don't cut it off. This is where you make it separate.
You cut off people in the dating stage too, right?
Yeah, you could cut them off, but the success rate is higher though. Once you get to the dating stage, you got a better chance of making it to the next stage. But talking stage is 50-50.
Just like McMill say, is level to this.
Yeah,
you gotta reach a certain level.
Yeah, it's always levels. You feel me?
To guarantee your spot.
Yeah, definitely. So we pretty much doing a rounding. Like, The talking stage is 50%. Now, once you get to 75%, you can go in and round it to 100. You feel me? So you have a
Alright.
better chance. You got a greater percentage of making it to the 100% if you have 75. But if you have 50, it's a 50-50 chance you're going to get cut off or you going to, you feel me, go to the next stage. So I think the talking stage is where you kind of separate the boys from men.
Yeah, that's
me?
understandable. Yeah, I feel you. All right, Mark, before we close out the show and wrap up, here's a segment that we do on the show. We just, the first episode, we're going to do this segment called Something Interesting. Something interesting is basically something, anything interesting that we find on the internet or anything that's interesting that we can do with our guests and we can get their perspective on things. So the interesting thing for the day is it's a story that I found on the internet, right? There's a guy in Colorado. He was faced with a impossible decision when his wife went to labor. And when they rushed her to the hospital, right, the doctor told him that he had to decide who to save. And his decision was like what he thought. So he chose basically on his decision on who to save between the wife or the baby. So his decision, he said on what he thought his wife would want him to do. So on that note, he went ahead and saved the baby girl and let his wife go. So on that, what do you think on that decision? That's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
Me personally, I'ma save my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna save my wife just because it's like we spoke about earlier about investing time and stuff like that. Like now, if my kid was older,
no, that's in the hospital, in labor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If my kid was older, then I would probably pick the kid, just because I got so much invested in the kid, and they have their life to live.
How old though?
No, I'm saying if I had to pick between my wife and my kid was 10 years old or something like that.
Oh damn, that's hard.
Then I might pick the kid just because my wife kind of lived her life, per se. She's probably gonna be 30, 40, 50 years old.
At the same time, I think from her perspective, if she loved her kid that much, she would have told you, yo, go ahead and save our kid and, and come back for me because, I already did that, this and that, and I want my kids to, go ahead and do the same thing, and try.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, if my kid was older, I'll pick the kid. But the fact that the kid is young and the kid, I have nothing invested in it yet.
That's crazy.
I have nothing invested in it yet. I'm probably going to pick my wife.
Yeah.
We probably going to make another kid.
Exactly.
And another kid after that.
I'll do the same thing too.
So I'm going to pick my wife because
so now
my kid ain't. But don't think I'm crazy. I know people going to judge. Yeah. Y'all good to judge.
That's crazy, yo, yeah.
But it's my opinion. I'm going to pick my wife because
you can always go ahead and make another baby.
Yeah, and I got nothing invested. I'm a strong believer. If I invest a lot into it, which I invested into my wife, obviously, because she's my wife.
Yep.
I got an attachment that's very strong.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'll feel right killing her for a kid that is mine, but I don't have too much invested in it, so it's kind of different. But yeah, that's just my input on that.
So now he's gonna have to, he chose the baby, so now he's gonna have to raise a kid all by himself.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt, but I mean, it's a lose-lose situation at the end of the day.
You never know. He might have
you just gotta pick your poison.
I don't know. He might have a side chick. You know what I'm saying?
This guy.
You never know, but I'm not trying to say anything negative. I'm not trying to say anything negative about that situation, but let's stay positive, guys. Let's stay positive.
Yeah. You don't want to get too much people mad. You might want to wrap this up, man.
That's great. Hey, man, thank you, Mark. Mark, man, I'd like to thank you for coming to our first ever episode of That One Interesting Podcast.
This
is our first ever episode.
It's been a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure. And I just want to say, everybody who listens to this, don't judge me. Only God can judge me. And if you want to judge me, then goddamn look in the mirror, goddamn.
Hey, man, thank you for talking on the podcast. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Yes, sir.
Yep.